much. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. I'm looking forward to playing for you again, virtually here by way of cell phone transmission. And thanks so much for tuning in tonight. I decided there were a number of pieces of music I wanted to play that really just didn't fit a theme. I normally have a pretty strict theme for my concerts, but tonight I'm just going to play a musical potpourri. I think I used this title for a concert once before, and the idea kind of came back to me. So that's what we're going to do tonight, and I started out with an early cakewalk, a ragtime tune. This one's from 1901, and of course, cakewalk was a dance of the ragtime period. And let me hide some of the music I'm going to play later. I don't want to spoil the surprise. But oh dear, I have to find my list too. Where'd it go? Here's the list. It should be fun. And like I say, thanks for tuning in. Up next, another rag, a traditional piano rag, which was written by one of my favorites, Lucky Roberts. And this was one of his first two tunes, which came out in 1913, Pork and Beans, and then this one, the Junkman Rag. In fact, I think the Junkman Rag was probably the biggest hit he had in a commercial sense. And the original sheet music was very simplified, and they put it in the key of C. Well, I play it the way that Lucky did it, in C sharp and F sharp. Here's the Junkman Rag. you so much, everybody. There's the Junkman Rag. I thought I'd play a number of the Lucky Roberts ragtime tunes tonight. He's really one of my favorites. He might be one of the earliest stride piano players, but I think that term's a little misleading. He was firmly within the ragtime tradition and wrote for some black Broadway shows and so forth later in his career. I'll do that a little, some of those a little later on. Yeah, I thought I might do Railroad Blues too. I see I've got a request for that. Let me go ahead and play it. This is one of the later Lucky Roberts pieces, which I learned off of his hand-played player piano roll. So I try and play it kind of like he did. And I might do Molasses later on in the program, but for now, let's do Railroad Blues, which is from about 1920. And there's Railroad Blues. Thank you so much. That came from Ben there on YouTube. If you're just joining me or have never listened to one of my concerts, I do accept virtual tips for these performances. All you have to do is send in a tip on PayPal or Venmo, kind of like you do in person. And if you don't trust PayPal, I also have P.O. Box on my website for checks. And to my friends on Twitch tonight, let me load up Twitch here. I have not figured out yet how to pin a message in the chat. And I tried to look it up before the concert tonight, and I still couldn't figure out quite how to do it. I don't know where the button is. Maybe, let me try one button here real quick. No, I still haven't been able to find it. Well, the information is there anyway. It looks like I usually have more followers on YouTube than any other website at this point. So, and I'm happy to take requests tonight. Hopefully I'll be able to get to a lot of them since I don't have a real strict theme for tonight's concert. So be thinking about what you'd like to hear. And also be sure and like the stream on Facebook and YouTube. Share it if you can. That helps with the algorithms on social media. I got an idea this week to do a little tribute to a songwriter who's not all that familiar, but maybe you'll recognize one of his songs. And this came about because I received some sheet music from the collection of a friend of mine, and I found this piece. And I've been looking for this piece for years and years. And maybe I'll play it first for you. This is a tune called Everybody Stomp. This is the original copy of it from 1925. It's a real nice, minty fresh copy. And the composer was Elmer Schoebel. And that's not a name a lot of people remember today, but in the early to mid-1920s, he was a very prolific songwriter, wrote a lot of the hit jazz tunes of the early jazz era, which you might call Dixieland jazz, and he played with some famous musicians. I looked him up yesterday, and it occurred to me, gee, I know about 3 or 4 of the songs that he composed, and they're all really good. And this one, I've only ever heard very few people play it. I heard Traber Tishner do it, and Dick Krekel used to play it, 2 of the great ragtime players. But here now is my new version of Everybody Stomp. Everybody stomp. Thank you so much. Isn't that a great tune? I stole the key change from the recording of Trevor Tishner. And I mean, I don't know how rare or valuable this sheet music is, but I tell you, I've been looking for an original copy of this for at least 15 years. And I was so thrilled when I just happened to find it in a box that came from the collection of a friend of mine. I don't think I need to give out the names, but it's a great tune. Now let's do some more by Elmer Schoebel. And it took me a while to find this piece too. And it's a tune from slightly earlier, 1923. This is called Railroad Man. And I knew of this tune for years because James P. Johnson did it on a piano roll. And I'm not really copying the Johnson version of it. I'm just kind of playing it in my own way. I noticed Billy Myers wrote lyrics for both of these. That's a name I don't know. And also Bob Milne used to play this. He's one of the legendary ragtimers who's still living and touring and playing. Lots of railroad songs tonight. Well, you know, there might be some more. I'll just have to think about that. For now, from 1923, Railroad Man. Thank you so much. Railroad man left today. Railroad man on his way. Called him on the telephone, but he left this morning. Left without a warning. Engineer turned me down, but I hear in his hometown some sweet mama's love he's found. The mystery I'm unraveling. While my honey's traveling, I know he's Alabama bound. Not much to the words, but it's a great tune. And let's do the last Elmer Schoebel tune now while I'm at it. Oh, hey, this is for early risers. Sorry I'm late. Well, if you're just getting up, that's all right. Yeah, I'm a night owl myself. If I say early riser, I'm talking about one of the YouTube handles here. Well, now we're going to do one with a little bit of a Spanish rhythm to it. It's only in a couple of places throughout the piece. Here's the original cover from 1925, again, Spanish Shawl. And this is a terrific tune. This was published by Melrose Brothers in Chicago. They're the same guys that published Jelly Roll Morton's music. Lyrics by Billy Myers and Walter Melrose. This was recorded during the original period by Blossom Seeley. If I had to name a favorite vocalist, she would easily be in the top 5. Blossom Seeley, a great vaudevillian of that period. And she did it with 2 pianos backing her, a piano duo team. It's a terrific record. But anyhow, once again, I'm just going to play this my way. Spanish Shawl. And there's Spanish Shawl. Thank you so much. Well, now don't you love the music of Elmer Schoebel? He also wrote I'm Nobody's Sweetheart Now, one of the biggest hits of the Roaring Twenties. I'm amazed how you always make everything sound magnificent. Well, I don't know about that. I appreciate the kind words very much. That's Loretta on YouTube. Yeah, okay, well, send in some requests for me, folks. I haven't gotten very many yet. We're up to 65 viewers here on YouTube. I'm sorry I had to take a break from doing my virtual concerts for so long. It's just, I don't know that I should really do it on a night besides Sunday because people are used to that, and I just do it every week that I am home and available on a Sunday. So, oh gee, Finger Breaker, and I'm afraid I haven't played that in too long. It's been too long since I've done it. I've been thinking about working on that again. And Oh Me Oh My, that's the same situation. I did play that once or twice, but I'm going to have to relearn that. Okay, we got a request here from Loretta for Canadian Capers. I can play that one. In fact, maybe I'll go ahead and do that right now. Let's do it. I'm switching to Facebook. Excuse me just for a minute, folks, because I'm streaming on 3 websites at the same time, and so it's kind of hard to make sure that I'm watching all the comments. Yeah, Nick says keep the concerts on Sunday. I plan to do that. In fact, the reason that I did them on Sunday to begin with is because I know it's the one night of the week I will never have to work at the Strater Hotel in Durango. They have a bluegrass band of sorts that has played there in the saloon every Sunday night for over 30 years. It's every Sunday through the year, so it's always an open night for me. And now let's get this request in. This is a ragtime piece that was written on the Barbary Coast in San Francisco by a man named Sid LaPrati, who was a black piano player, and a couple of songwriters in Chicago stole the tune from him. So how it got this name, I don't know, but that's where it was written. Came out in 1915. Canadian Capers. Canadian Capers. Thank you so much. I played that in the Old Time Piano Contest a number of years ago, and I still play the same arrangement. A couple of the licks are taken from the terrific recording of the tune by Ray Turner, who worked for Capitol Records in the 1950s. He also played piano in a lot of movies and so forth. Oh, I'm getting a request for some of my Australian numbers. I think I might have to practice those before I play them, John, since I haven't played them in a while. But I'm still working on possibly booking some performances back there in Australia. I really do want to come back. I'll have to try and update you on that. Redwing, I can certainly do that. Let me check a few others. Texas Foxtrot, yeah. Let me check the other website here. Now, let me see. I have a number of things planned in this binder here I want to play for you. I have to use sheet music for a few of them, but let me try and get in one more request while I'm at it. Let's see, there was Texas Foxtrot, and there was, what was the other one? Oh, Redwing. Well, maybe I'll play that. Okay, this is for Bill on Facebook, Bill Masters. Let me do Redwing for you. One of the great ragtime era tunes written by Carey Mills. There's another songwriter that I think is kind of underrated. He wrote At a Georgia Camp Meeting. He wrote Whistling Rufus. He wrote Meet Me in St. Louis. And also this very big hit from 1907, Redwing. And there's a quick version of Redwing. Thank you, folks. Yeah, it's just by coincidence I have done a number of railroad tunes tonight. I don't know that I have too many more planned, but I do have... Let me go ahead and do the Mae West set for you now. I do have some things planned that I want to do. Again, I'm going to use the sheet music out of this binder here. I'll be leaving here in a couple of days, on Thursday actually, for the West Coast Ragtime Festival in Sacramento. And this is one of the biggest events that I do every year. And I always love it. I think the quality of the music is very high. It also has probably one of the largest attendance, how do I put it, number of attendees of most of the music festivals that I play. And since I was 14 years old, I have had a tradition. Every year I do a 2-piano duet set at that festival with Frederick Hodges, who's a great pianist from San Francisco. And earlier this year, he and I got the idea to do a set of Mae West songs. Now, you may not think of her as a musician, but she certainly was. And she started in the ragtime years in vaudeville. There are, pictures of her on sheet music going back to about 1910 on the cover of many ragtime songs. And then she did Broadway shows in the 1920s, and in the early 30s, all of a sudden, and she was not that young at that point, she became a movie star and helped save Paramount Pictures from bankruptcy in the 30s. And we loved this Mae West music that we played so much. We decided we were going to do it again in Sacramento. And so I thought I'd play some of these tunes now for you. They might be familiar, they might not be. The first one, here's a vaudeville tune, 1924, music by Agar and Yellen, who were two of the greatest songwriters of that period. They wrote the music for the movie King of Jazz. And this one's called Big Boy. Can't you just see Mae West singing this now? I think Bix Beiderbecke also recorded this. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Big Boy. Big Boy. Anger and Yelling. Thank you, folks. I suppose I could read you some of the words to these things. They're quite funny. Well, and I also decided to read some quotes from Mae West during the performance. I should have prepared that for tonight. You have to come to the festival if you want to hear that. The next tune, this is an even earlier one, 1918, and all the copies of this sheet music have Mae West's picture on the cover. It's a shame she never recorded some of these early on in her career. She didn't make records until the 1930s when she started doing movies. But this is a really fun tune which was written about the scandalous dance that was such a hit in the late 1910s called the shimmy. So this tune is called Everybody Shimmies Now. And again, it was one of the songs that Mae West introduced. And I'm not familiar with these songwriters at all. One of them, kind of. From 1918, Everybody Shimmies Now. everybody shimmies now. All right. Amy has just mentioned Cary Grant. Well, yes, of course. Mae West is the one that made him famous. If you don't know the story, I believe the correct story is that she was on the Paramount Pictures studio lot and just saw Cary Grant walking on the sidewalk below her dressing room, and he was just an extra bit player in the movies, and she said, "That's who I want for the star of my movies." And so the first two pictures she made, actually, technically she had a part in a movie called Night After Night, something like that, in 1932, and then all of a sudden she became a huge star, and she was the main star in two movies in 1933. The first was called She Done Him Wrong. She sang Frankie and Johnny in that movie. And then the other movie was called I'm No Angel. And I'm going to do two songs for you from I'm No Angel. I have performed these with Frederick, and he sings all the words too, which it's too bad I can't sing. You're really missing out on that a little bit. But in fact, Mae West wrote the words, or at least co-wrote the lyrics to each of these songs, and she wrote the words under a pseudonym, Gladys Dubois, and that's actually Mae West herself. Come on, let me cling to you just like a vine. Make that low-down music trickle down your spine. Baby, I can thrill you with this love of mine. I'm no angel. Let me feel your fingers running through my hair. I can give you kisses till you walk on air. Love me, honey, love me till I just don't care. I'm no angel. I'll take your blues, stomp down your troubles, love you with a heart and soul. You need protection, take my affection. You're my new ace in the hole. Press me close to you and close your great big eyes. You ain't never been so near to paradise. I know how you feel and I can sympathize. I'm no angel. That's how Mae West sings it. Thank you so much, everybody. One more tune for this set here, and then I'll get back to some more requests. I know there's some I can do that I missed. This is also from the movie I'm No Angel, and Oftentimes when I play piano duets with somebody who's really a professional like Frederick Hodges, we will use the original dance band orchestrations as a musical arrangement. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm actually reading the piano part off of a band chart, and he showed me some of the original orchestrations from the Paramount movies. He got them from Paramount Pictures, and it's the level of sophistication in the arranging is incredible. It was actually much too difficult for me to sight read the music. I couldn't do it at all. I'm not sure who did the arrangements. It might have been someone like Ralph Ranger. And even a song as simple as Frankie and Johnny, they change keys every 4 measures. And that's what you're hearing in the orchestral soundtracks on those movies. It's, the level of musicianship at that time in movies pales in comparison to most films today, unless you're talking about someone who really does beautiful orchestral music like John Williams. But I'm getting sidetracked. We're going to do a tune which plays during the movie I'm No Angel, and it became a popular tune at the time. Even there was a band leader in the 30s that many of you might know from TV, Ozzie Nelson. Even Ozzie and Harriet recorded this song. It's called No One Loves Me Like That Dallas Man. I'm going to do my best here to read this band chart. Again, lyrics by Gladys Dubois, a.k.a. Mae West, Ben Ellison, music by Harvey Brooks. That Dallas Man. No one loves me like that Dallas man. Isn't the music from her movies just wonderful? You know, you don't think of her again as a musician, but she was certainly at least a singer and a lyric writer. And so there's a little preview of something that I'm planning to do at the West Coast Ragtime Festival. Let me see. I need some more requests now, folks, so... go ahead and send them on in. Okay, got quite a few here on YouTube. Let's see. Got a request for Memories of You. That might not be a bad idea. And, oh, Happy Feet would be another good one. Let's do Memories of You. This is for Charles. Yeah, Charles on YouTube. And then I might do Happy Feet as well. I need a slow one. So here's Memories of You, the great ballad that U.B. Blake wrote. And my arrangement is taken from his player piano roll. It's a concert version, you might say, although it was originally written for a Broadway show called Lou Leslie's Blackbirds of 1930. Memories of You. Thank you so much. Memories of You. Luke, I just read your comment here from the movie My Little Chickadee. Yeah, there's a great tune called Willie of the Valley. Mae West sings in that movie, but I've never played it. Uh-oh. Okay, are we back? I haven't had any severe streaming issues in quite some time. That's about the longest little glitch I've seen. For those of you who may not follow my concerts often, I've had internet issues during the streaming, and I think I finally got it fixed. It was a bad splitter in the crawl space beneath my house, believe it or not. Okay, I'm getting requests for Percy Winrick's tunes. That's good. I might do some of those. Oh my goodness! I've got Bob Dunstan is listening from Seoul, Korea. I cannot believe it. That's amazing. Let's see. What was the other request? Hold on. Oh yeah, Happy Feet. I think that'd be a good one. This is for Barky Malarkey on YouTube. Happy Feet. We're gonna do this tune, which is might be Agar and Yellen. I played one of their tunes, Big Boy, earlier. We're gonna do this one from 1930. It's called Happy Feet, written for the movie King of Jazz with Paul Whiteman and his orchestra, and it also happened to have been Bing Crosby's first movie. Probably the best tune that came out of the movie. That was a short version of Happy Feet. Thank you, folks. Oh my goodness, yeah. This fellow just mentioned Mary Carlisle. She's an old movie star that I became friends with who made 3 movies with Bing Crosby. She was just wonderful, and I'm very proud of that performance I did for her. It's still on my YouTube channel even now. If you're just joining us, I do accept virtual tips for my concerts. All you have to do is send in a tip on PayPal or Venmo. And if you use PayPal, do not select I'm paying for goods and services. That takes out a very small fee on my end of the tip. And, you know, I thought it would be worth mentioning that because why give PayPal any more of the money that you meant to be a tip for the music? Anyhow, there's a quick commercial, and I'm going to continue and play a song for you. I mentioned this earlier. I love the music of Lucky Roberts. I want to do one more. I was thinking I might play some of his music at the West Coast Ragtime Festival as well. I did the last time I was there. And This is from a Broadway show called Go-Go. It was a black Broadway show which appeared in 1923, the same year as James B. Johnson's Runnin' Wild. You know, the Charleston was written for that. So black shows were in vogue in the early 20s, and this was not the biggest hit from the show. The biggest hit was a song called Rose Time and You, but this one, Lucky Roberts recorded on a hand-played piano roll, and his performance of the song is so remarkable that this is the one that gets played among at least the piano players that I know. And it's very difficult. Believe it or not, there are words to this. Molasses. It doesn't mean sticky syrup. It means molasses is what it means. So here is Molasses by Lucky Roberts. Molasses. Thank you very much. I see a request here for Charlie Chaplin's music. You know, I've never played any of it. He was, of course, a brilliant composer as well as film star, but no. The only one I think anybody recognizes is Smile. I've never played it. I have to know the music by heart and most of the time before I'll perform it in one of my virtual concerts. Well, it looks like things are just fine on YouTube here as well, so I'm going to keep going, and we're going to go from ragtime back to movie songs. And here's a song which I don't play too often, but I loved it the first time I heard it. Of course, I had seen the movie, but I'd never really heard anyone perform it. And then I heard Vince Giordano and the Nighthawks play it one time when I was in New York City with Peter Minton as a guest artist. And so I finally learned this tune. It's called the Continental, written in 1934 for the movie Flying Down to Rio. It's Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers' first movie. And this also happens to be the first song that ever won the award for the best song at the Academy Awards. So here is the Continental. And there's the Continental. Thank you, folks. Oh boy, I think I've noticed a couple of requests tonight for Fats Waller. Well, I can certainly do that. And maybe I ought to play Handful of Keys. How does that sound to everybody? I get kind of tired of Ain't Misbehavin' once in a while. He wrote so many great songs, and that's one of the only ones people remember. For me, it's kind of like playing Maple Leaf Rag or The Entertainer. You know, it's just, those are, with the general public, those are the only requests that I seem to get. Fats Waller, for some reason, seemed to have a very big year in 1929. He wrote Honeysuckle Rose and Ain't Misbehavin', which were his two biggest pop hits. And he also made this record, Handful of Keys. Fast would say, one never knows, does one? Oh, how nice to hear from Joe Sell there in Arizona. Oh my goodness. This is a friend of mine who's an artist. He says he's sending over 200 Christmas cards this year. Woo! That's a lot of work, but his drawings are amazing. Let me do a slow tune for you now. Again, getting into pop music from the 1940s now. Margaret Whiting, I think she had one of the most beautiful voices of anybody that ever lived. And this was probably her biggest hit. I've also played It Might As Well Be Spring from the musical State Fair. She had a big hit record on that. This one's called Moonlight in Vermont. Music by Carl Sussdorf, and lyrics by John Blackburn. Copyright 1944 and 45. And so that's probably when her recording of this came out on Capitol Records. Moonlight in Vermont. Moonlight in Vermont. Thank you very much, folks. Now I have a good song to play for people from New England. In fact, it looks like I'm going to be headed back there next spring to play in both Maine and New Hampshire. Late March and early April. I'm looking forward to that already. Two old friends of mine from the Ragtime Festival days helped set up some concerts there for me. It went very well. Now, let's see, what time is it? I've got a few more things that I plan to play. The Cole Porter might not be a bad idea. Everybody want to hear my Cole Porter medley? I'm getting requests for that here on YouTube. And it's from a YouTube handle, Mason and Hamlin Ampico. Boy, that sounds like a good piano to me. I don't know what your real name is, but I'd be happy to hear play the Cole Porter for you. I do 3 of his very biggest hits. I do together as a medley. I do Anything Goes, Night and Day, and then It's De Lovely. Okay, I'm getting some yeses here for Cole Porter. All right, let me see. Now, looks like things are working. Here's Cole Porter. Cole Porter. Thank you very much, everybody. Oh, well, hey there, Bill. I'll be looking forward to seeing you in Sacramento next week. Yeah, I just can't wait. Doesn't look like I have many viewers on Twitch tonight. I'm sorry if you've been watching over there. I haven't been paying much attention. I only know of maybe one other piano player, at least one friend of mine that streams on Twitch, Kylan in Santa Cruz, and I don't think must be doing something else tonight, so that's too bad he couldn't bring a few people with him. Now, I'm going to play something that might surprise you. This is the kind of thing, you know, that I would play working in the Diamond Bell in the hotel here for the general public, which I wouldn't necessarily do in a more formal concert, but we're going to do another movie song, only it's a little bit more modern movie song, and it's really fun, and I hope this doesn't get me banned off YouTube, or it doesn't offend any of my listeners, because this is the theme from Blazing Saddles. And I was thinking about playing this because I had just learned it for the bell, and lo and behold, I got a request for it on Facebook too. So here it is. Much, everybody. We just thought we'd take a little trip to Rock Ridge there. I enjoyed it. I think that movie's terrific. And it's a shame they can't make movies like that now. Well, he conquered fear and he conquered hate. Yes! I have one more thing that I got a request for this ahead of time, and I want to play it for you before tonight's over. And this definitely qualifies for a musical potpourri, and this goes out to two of my good friends who have listened to almost every one of my virtual concerts, everyone when they have not been on the road traveling. They're quite the world travelers. This is for Maryland and Bill and West Virginia. It's actually a Latin piece, a Latin song written by a cousin of Ernesto Lecuona, and it's called Taboo. You don't hear it very often, but this arrangement is just truly inspired. I borrowed this from the great Bob Seeley, the boogie-woogie piano player. It makes the tune twice as good as it ever was to begin with. So here is Taboo. Thank you so much, everybody. I haven't played that one in a while. That goes out to Marilyn and Bill. Hope you're listening. I should check Facebook. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight, folks. And I will not be back next week with a virtual concert. Obviously, I'll be at the West Coast Ragtime Festival in Sacramento. But I will be back the following week. You only have to wait 2 weeks this time. And I have already got an idea for a concert. I'm going to try to do a concert devoted to the music that I have done on all the CDs I've recorded over the years. I tried that one night this summer when the streaming didn't work. I think it's time to do it all over again. And so the concert was called An Album of Old Songs. I'm going to try that again for you and do another album of old songs. And that will be the Sunday after Thanksgiving, 2 weeks from tonight. I really appreciate the tips, everybody. You know, even though COVID is kind of dying, as I say, it's still very helpful to my career. If you enjoy this kind of music, want to keep it alive, and especially in the winter, I don't have as much work, so I appreciate all your help. And good night for now. I'll see you 2 weeks from tonight.